Good morning, third period class. I am recording your class today, so if you are not supposed to be recorded, be sure you don't cross in front of the camera. If you don't want your vocals to be recorded, make sure you participate softly. The closer you are to the camera, the more it's going to pick you up. Okay? I know last week was kind of crazy with me being out, and we have lots of students out this week who are sick with the flu or whatever. So I've decided to record our class for those who are absent so they can stay up with what we're doing, okay? Today your learning target is I can complete function tables. Now I know that y'all worked a little bit on this last week while I was out. So some of this may be a little bit of a repeat from what Coach McGuire did with you. It won't hurt for you to get a double dose of it. I want you to listen carefully. Make sure that you participate like you always would, for the most part. If you've got questions, it's important for your classmates who aren't with us today to hear your question. They may be thinking the same question you are, but they're not able to ask it because they're watching our class on video. Okay? So let's talk about functions for just a minute. A function is a relation in which each member of the domain input is paired with exactly one member of the, sorry, I put that wrong, range. And the range is the output. I can't spell output. Now last week in one of the lessons you had a handout and you watched a video about the meterator or something like that. You remember watching that last week? Where if a pig went in, and I even drew it, if a pig goes in to the processor, you're going to get bacon or some kind of pig product. There was a teacher that I had one time, and he talked about function machines. And he drew one for us. And he said when he was a little boy, he was not from Alabama. And he said he lived in Arkansas or wherever it was he lived. And he said it was really fun for him and his buddies to go down by the river where the meat processing plant was. And he said they would watch him at the end of the day. He said they'd sweep up and they'd clean up whatever was on the floor. Y'all are not going to like this, some of you. They would put it in a process machine, whatever leftover scraps that was on the floor. They'd put it in the process machine, and out would come bologna. That's right. Yep.
Or hot dogs.
Or hot dogs or bologna. That's right. Potted meat, whatever.
I'm never eating hot dogs or bologna ever again.
Yes, you can go to the nerve.
I don't care how it's made.
So a function machine or functions like we're talking about, my past may be gone. A function machine like we're talking about is you're going to have an input value. Okay? You're going to have a function rule. Let me look over here. Let's say we've got f of x equals 15x. What that means is whatever you put in for x, the function is going to come out. F of x, some value. Now how this works with a function table is like this. You have x, which is your domain. Think about ordered pairs. We had an x and a y. Then we've got a rule. In this case, it's f of x equals 15x. And then whatever value of x is determines what what the function is, which is the range. Now, I think Coach McGuire may have told you last week, and I'm going to remind you, f of x is just a new way of saying y.
Why not?
That's what I told Coach Wow. Why not just say why?
Because sometimes we need to talk about things as function. Like how many times you can jump up and down in a minute. Something is a function of time. Okay? We might have, in algebra this morning, we had a phone bill is a function of the number of minutes used. So sometimes we need to express things a little differently to make it more clear for the people who are looking. X and Y make sense to us. But if we're talking about a phone bill, and we're talking, my phone bill is going to be so much per month plus the number of minutes, then I need to look at how many minutes I might possibly be talking on the phone. Alright, so for our function machine, we're going to pick some values for X. Now, on that little handout that I gave you last week, I wrote a little statement on there. You pick your values like you pick your nose.
What?
I don't, so I'm pretty sure.
You pick your values like you pick your nose. Do you schedule an appointment to pick your nose? No. Oh, we all know. You did it this morning on the way to school. We saw you. You were the one behind me, and I saw you.
We got
running.
campers on me? The cameras
I'm
look
just
on?
kidding. I'm just kidding. You never schedule, people don't schedule an appointment to pick their nose. They just do it. I mean, it's just like picking and grinning. Okay? You pick your values like you pick your nose, randomly. That means you choose whatever values you want. And hopefully, you're going to keep something small. You want to keep numbers that are small and close to 0. So I always suggest you let 0 be in there somewhere.
I was gonna come in and offer if I could help or anything like that, but I walked in and every one of my kids started telling me to go back over there, so.
No, they didn't.
We're
No, they didn't.
recording today, so for the ones who are sick.
Well, I just
So there
messed up
is-
your recording.
No, you didn't mess it up. We're just recording today because I love this class.
We want to show people that we can do work without you.
No, stay here. Stay here.
Oh, me. And we're going to pick, like I said, numbers that are small. Don't get much smaller than these numbers. And you want to choose numbers that are close to 0. Okay? So, I'm going to start in my function machine. I'm going to put in input a -2 into my function machine, which means I'm going to replace x with -2. So what is 15 times -2?
Okay, 30.
So my output would be -30. So maybe what this, well, let's say that we're working in retail and we lost 2 customers. Oh, there was a man at Walmart last night. He was selling this little product and he was making a presentation, and for the presentation you get some kind of free something or other just for standing there and listening to his speech. So let's say that we're a group there listening to this dude's presentation, and he knows that he's going to charge $30 a piece, or he knows he's going to charge $15 a piece for the product that he's selling. So he's got a pretty good crowd there, but 2 people walk away. So he's minus 2 people. Means that he lost $30 when those 2 people walked off. So think about it that way. The amount of money that you make is a function of, if you're in sales,
She been in here.
the amount of money that you make could be a function of the number of people you sell to. Okay? So let's try this with -1. Now I'm going to input a -1 into my function machine. It works. So I've got a function of -1. 15 times -1 is what?
-15.
Okay? Making sense so far? So what am I going to do with the 0? Input 0. What's my output?
You guys will give the word 0.
So my output's 0. What about if I input 1? This guy had one person stay.
That'd be 15.
That'll be it.
I mean, this presentation sucks. You know, like one person.
Say that. It just
They only
sounds
got one
ugly.
person. What they good?
Well, it could be people just didn't think his product was worth $15. So, 2 people bought. 2 people bought. How much money did you make?
30.
Oops, wrong way. So we got 2 and 30. Now, you don't always have to draw the function machine every time you do this. I wanted you to see input, output. Okay, input, this is our domain. Now, we've already talked about domain and range. And this is our range. So if I asked you for the domain, you chose your own domain. Your domain for this function is these numbers. The domain is the set of numbers.
Why'd you draw
That's
a
your-
brace? Or a brace?
Because this is how we list our input values, our domain. The domain is your set of input values. -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2.
Okay.
And we always put a set of numbers into braces. Okay? Our output or our range,
I can't draw those braces.
I can't draw them good either, don't worry about
That's
it.
better than I did. I
I'm
just
not
draw
gonna,
this.
I'm not gonna grade you on how good you draw them.
Good, 'cause I just do this.
That's fine. My output's -30. -15, remember, you're on camera. So now I have stated my domain and my range. The good news is, on problems like this, a lot of times, you're going to be able to choose your own domain and range. Okay?
Like I said, your range is that kind of domain.
Choose your domain, and depending on what your function rule is, will be your range. Okay? So let's try another one. I'm going to get rid of the function machine. See if I can find us another problem. Let's get rid of this.
Alright. Pay attention.
So, first off, just to kind of make sure that you understand something a little bit more about functions, I want you to do something for me. I want you to find f of -6 if f of x equals 3x plus 4. Okay? Now f of x, what does it mean I'm going to do with that number? Multiply what?
3 times -6.
Plug in 6 for x.
No, it
Replace substitution property. So we're finding f of negative 6. Okay, let's hear you do the computation work. Tell me what I'm going to get.
Negative 18 plus 4, which is equal to negative, yeah, 29.
Equals what? Okay, so make sure you get this example in your notes, because there may be times when you're simply asked to find a value, and this just means replace x. Plug and chug, replace x, substitute, and then use your order of operations to get your answer. You've got to know those integer rules. You've got to know the order of operations. So if you're having trouble with those, make sure you come see me, or if you go to remediation, talk to Miss Carpenter, so she can help you out too. All right, anybody still writing? Anybody still writing on this? Okay. So let me give you another problem. All right, here I'm going to give you the function rule. F of x equals 4x minus 1. Your instructions are to choose 4 values for your domain and find the range. So it's like Burger King. Have it your way. Pick your numbers. How do you pick your numbers? Like you pick your nose, randomly, and try to keep something small.
I'll put 1,000,000 on one of them.
You don't want 1,000,000.
It never.
That's kind of nice.
Think about it. Think about it. When you're putting these up here, you don't want something big to graph.
Can I please leave this room? This is getting nasty. That
Gross math. I'm sorry.
That's what we need to call this.
Gross math. Gross math. Everybody working. Set up your function table. You're going to have x, your rule, f of x equals 4x minus 1. And that's going to give you the value for your function. This might be, we could make a story up for this room. Maybe 4 of you are going to go to the movies. And if 4 of you go and pay together, they might give you a $1 discount. And the cost would be X.
Every time you get some moves, they try to get as much money as they want out of you.
4 times 8 feet.
So choose values for X. You only got to choose 4. Zach, give me a value.
0.
Just one value. Just one value. Okay? Zach chooses 0. So Zach, what do I do with the 0?
You gotta put 4, then put 2 apostrophe 0,
Okay.
and then minus 1,
Uh-huh.
and then still be 4 because well
Well, let's look at it. 4 times 0 is what?
0.
And 0 minus 1 is?
-1.
Good. Alright, so let's go with Gabby. Not Gabby. Yes, Gabby. Not Gabby. My brain just
It's
died.
Gabby.
This is Gabby.
Gabby. Huh. What'd you do that to me for? Gabby, give me a value. Pick a value, any value. 1. Okay, Gabby? Now what do I do with that value? What did we do up here? Replaced X. And 4 times 1 is what? 4 minus 1 is input, output, domain and range. Okay, give me a value.
30. Chuck it
Okay.
down. Really? Yeah, Chuck it.
We went from 1 to 30. How did we do that?
Okay, that's his number.
Alright, dude.
What?
1 to 30?
120,
Number?
so it'd be
So what is 4 times 30?
120 equals 129. I meant 119.
I should make him graph it.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Dude.
Okay, I'll do it.
Numbering by ones.
I'll do it.
Oh, good lord.
That means you have
Okay,
about
so give me one more value. Somebody give me a negative. That's
negative 30.
negative 3.
Negative 100.
That'll be negative 12
Uh-huh.
minus 1, and then that's negative 11.
Think about that. Your quarterback loses 12 yards.
Negative
Negative 13.
Yeah.
Think about the Super Bowl. Didn't they lose yards every once in a while on the Super Bowl?
Everybody-
And then they lost yards in the end zone fighting.
Oh my
I mean, no,
goodness.
they gained yards on that.
Then they threw an interception.
That was the most exciting part of the ball game, wasn't it?
No, the interception was.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so now, what is our domain?
0, 1, 30, negative 3. And our range is negative 1, 3, 119, negative 13.
Negative 1, 3, 119, and negative 13. Now, personal preference for me is that these numbers are in numeric order from least to greatest. So if you're doing these in numeric order from least to greatest, what would my domain be?
Negative 3, 0, 1, and 3.
Correct.
What it go with?
We can leave it like this for now. It's not gonna make a
This
big
is
deal.
really confusing.
What about my range? What would be my numeric order for the range?
Negative 13.
Negative 1, just 3, and then 119.
Negative 13, negative 1, 3, and 119. Good job. Okay, any questions so far?
Do
Anything at all?
they? We just left.
Okay?
Okay.
Now let me give you something without me. I want to see what you can do without me.
Hey.
Let's see here. What problem do I want to give you? Let's try this one. Same instructions. Choose 4 values for X. Work this out to find your range. And then at the end, I want you to state your domain and range. You're choosing the domain. And you're finding your own range. Now, I'm not going to pause the video for this, because whoever's watching this needs the practice as well. But I am going to keep it down to about a minute on time. So work within your groups. Choose your values wisely.
Aren't you going to turn on that video game?
No video games.
No, I meant that video that you showed us.
No, we're not going to watch the video today. I've got it linked in the Google Classroom, and I've got it linked in our Facebook homework page. It's your problem. Choose your values.
Why? As long as you got 8, I'm gonna choose 100.
101 times 5.
Sounds good.
Keep in mind, we will be graphing too.
No, what? I'm gonna do
We
like
will be
0, 0,
graphing
0,
these.
0, 0, 0.
You can't do all zeros, you'll get the same.
Exactly.
You want guarantee.
you're supposed to track.
You never told us what numbers you said choose any value.
But negative.
minus whatever X.
Oh, cool.
So be, so if I put zero, it'd be like,
If you put 0, what will you have?
F equals F with a parentheses 0,
Uh-huh. F of 0.
and then equals
8 minus 0 equals 8.
let's go.
Uh-huh.
What about -4?
How about -4? Okay, so now if I've got -4, what's it gonna be?
F.
of x equals 8 minus -4. That's gonna be double negative.
Uh-huh.
So you add them.
Good. Very good. This does become a positive. Double negative is a positive, so we got 8 plus 4. That
Equals
is-
12.
Good call. Give me another number. It's your problem, you pick it.
2.5.
1.
3.
Do like half numbers?
So I want to
You
say
could. Okay, so tell me what I got. F of
8 minus 3.
8 minus 3 equals 5.
Okay, we need one more. So far, so good.
Me.
-8. Ooh.
That's easy. 8 plus 8 equals 16. Spoiler alert.
Got a double negative you gotta add.
Gotta add. Spoiler alert, it's 8. No. Spoiler alert, it's 16.
How'd you get 12 for -4?
How'd I get 12?
Double negative.
Double negative here.
Double negative equals a positive, then you
Yep.
gotta,
If I've got a double negative minus a negative, if I draw a face around this or circle around that, that looks like a sleepy eyes, and I am positive that person needs some rest.
So
I need some rest too.
So if you put +4, it'll be 30.
8 plus 4.
Oh, she has a bill.
You're trying to multiply.
When she was here yesterday, she just.
There we go. That double negative again. All right, how are you feeling about these problems?
I'm actually feeling better now since you've been back. Since you've been back, I've first have actually learned something.
All right, let's look at let's look at a real world problem. Now I'll talk to you a little bit about calling cards. So let's see what I can find in the book that kind of is relevant for us. You know, these are just kind of abstract things. A dance studio. Do we have any dancers in here? Dancer? Dancing king? Okay, a dance studio charges an initial fee. What's something else y'all like to do? $75 plus
We like to buy.
$8 per lesson, besides fighting.
I don't know.
Boxing.
No,
Hunting.
we're gonna leave it at this.
Hunting.
Fishing.
Write a function to represent the cost
There you go. That's all I do.
C of L for L lessons. Okay, so first of all right, we'll change this. Y'all like to hunt, right? Girls? Any girls like to hunt? Fish?
Y'all could hunt. Especially you get too sick kind of skin.
Oh, that's enough. Alright, so a
Hunting club.
fishing club,
Why can't we do hunting?
Cause the girls don't like it.
I don't like
fishing and hunting.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
You still got skinny fish.
Club.
Lessons. Lesson charges.
I know how.
Okay, a fishing and hunting lesson charges an initial fee of $75 plus $8 per lesson. Okay? So we're going to write a function to represent the cost of the lessons for any given number of lessons that we could choose. Okay, so we're going to start out with C of L, cost of lessons equals, translate, y'all been translating for me. Translate, how do I write this information?
75.
So I'm confused.
75 with parentheses 8.
75 what? Plus $8
And X.
per lesson,
Or either way.
okay? So the instructor comes to you and says, you know what? You're a really good student. I honestly think after about 13 lessons, you're going to be pretty good at this and you may not need any more. So now I want you to find the cost for 13 lessons.
All 13 of them, or just the 13?
Find the cost for 13 lessons. Whoever is fake snoring, quit.
It was Dustin.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, I know what y'all are talking about. This problem right here. How do I work it?
You might
What do I do?
select certain.
I replace L with 13. So I've got the cost of 13 lessons equals,
$104.75
Ain't no $104
plus 8. Yeah, it is. Times 13.
okay?
It's $104.
What is 8 times 13?
104.
104? So how much total would 13 lessons cost?
179.
So, the cost for 13 lessons is $179. Making sense? Okay, we've got a little bit of time left, so here's what I want. Now, you may have already worked these problems somewhere along the line, but I want you to rework them for me in case you have not. It won't hurt you because I'm not sure if you understood what you were doing since I was not here last week. So I need you to convince me that we're ready to move on to the next concept by working problems 1 through 6 on page 302. Okay, page 302, 1 through 6. I'm going to pull those problems up for you and project them. For those who are watching on the video, time just ran out.
What?
Page 302, numbers 1 through 6. We'll see y'all back in class tomorrow. Please have these problems attempted.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.